Welcome everyone. My name is Terry Bybee, and we are here here today to participate in the Mercury Retrograde repatterning. This is our second one for 2021. There's usually 3 or 4 depending on how it plays out. So I want to say thank you for participating, whether you're online with us live right now or whether you've registered and your energy is part of the group, and or if you sign up later and you become part of the group. So welcome everyone. Just a little background. So I have a business called the Risk Repatterning Initiative and the project Women Who Risk. I'm the founder, and a big part of that is reaching out and connecting and giving, especially women, women who risk, giving women an opportunity to explore their boundaries in a sense. And Mercury in retrograde gives us lots of opportunity for that. And part of my outreach to the community is providing this free resonance repatterning group session, because I personally am affected hugely every time Mercury goes into retrograde. Get to play that tune a lot. And so I always do the repatterning for myself. So it's like, well, why wouldn't I just go ahead and offer that up? So that's kind of the behind the reasoning of what's going on. I am a resonance repatterning practitioner. I'm an advanced practitioner. I am a certified shamanic astrologer, though I absolutely turn to my mentor, Kaylin Costell, when it comes to giving us the particulars of what's going on in the skies and how it affects us. So with that, I'm going to turn it over for Kaylin to introduce herself and share any little extra she wants to.
Thank you, Terry. And just for those of you who might not know, we did this for years, monthly, based on what was going on in the sky. Mm-hmm. And then for a few years, we just did it with Mercury retrograde. And then for a few years, we didn't do it at all. So it's been really fun to reconnect and to do this. And, she had her things going on, I had my things going on, but now it's working for us to reconnect and do it. And hey, when we did it before, we did it on a phone conference line. So that's really fun to do it on a Zoom conference, to be able to see people and what's going on and see Terry and how she works her magic. So this particular Mercury retrograde is incredibly powerful. And so much so, I was sharing this earlier, that there's a young woman, 33 years old, who is putting together a Mercury retrograde summit. And she's got 30 astrologers and other practitioners that are coming together to help talk about Mercury retrograde. It's a free summit. And so we'll provide you with a link if anybody's interested. I'm going to be talking about a couple of things I'm sharing here briefly today. I go in way more depth in that summit, and that is this Mercury retrograde. First of all, right now, today and tomorrow, Mercury and the North Node Venus and the North Node are conjunct. Pretty exact. So today, tomorrow, the next day is the like center point of this thing that's happening between Venus and the North Node. And it's the second time they've come together in the Gemini cycle that lasts 19 months, that started last year. And of course, Mercury's also there pretty close to the North Node right now. And what's going to happen on May 29th, when Mercury goes retrograde, is it's going to be with Venus. So this is like, today is preparing us and helping us activate how we are moving towards our destiny. And when we look at Venus in Gemini, she is the new world storyteller. She is very creative. She's very free. She's very much the rainbow goddess, and not from here or there, but from pretty much anywhere she wants to be. She does not have to follow the rules. She's beyond them. She can bend them if she wants, and that kind of thing. And she can tell the new stories. So when we're working with her from that perspective, the Venus cycle, we're looking at her as the new world storyteller. What are the new stories we're here to tell? And it's the new destiny of the feminine and her creative expression. And then Mercury's coming along to help because Mercury's the messenger. And so, so Mercury going retrograde with Venus in, on the 29th will be really powerful. And interestingly, part of what I'll share in the summit is how this is the return of the Shekinah, the divine feminine, when Mercury and Venus were seen together in the sky. And for a long period of time, so from April 15 to June 2nd, Mercury and Venus are within 10 degrees and exactly conjunct already once in April, and they'll be conjunct again May 29th at the time of the retrograde. So this is profound, and literally Solomon's temple was built to track this when Venus and Mercury were together in the sky, when they would rise in the morning in the east and light up the temple all the way back to the Holy of Holies. So we don't have that exactly happening, but Venus and Mercury, I don't know if you've been tracking them in the night sky, but they've been pretty fun to see. So they're in the west right now, and the moon just went by all of that. So our opportunity is to really expand our perception, how we communicate, what we perceive our reality to be, and to create a whole new story about the world we live in, because this story we've been living is time to go. Time for us to come together and create a new story. So I think that's the main thing I want to say about that. The other thing is when Mercury's retrograde, and it's retrograde between, I think, let's see, it's like almost 25 Gemini all the way back to 16. And so if you've got planets, angles, or nodes in those degrees, Mercury will pass that on your chart 3 times. And so you may get a more personal, profound message as a result of that. So I guess that's it, unless you can think of anything I missed, Terry.
No, I think that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. For those of you that may be newer to either this group or resonance repatterning, I'm going to give you just a little bit of information. So resonance repatterning is an energy psychology that really taps into not only the conscious, but the unconscious patterns that we live. And a lot of those were set in place when we were very, very small. And just from a basic perspective, all the way from that germination, that seed point of being created in your mama's belly, all the way up to about 5 years old, because in that stage we had not created our own separate consciousness. So we basically lived through everything and everyone around us energetically. And so a lot of the things that we deal with as we're going through life, all the way up into the age of maybe 57-ish, they are things that were set really early on. And I say that because that's, obviously, yeah, that's me. But the opportunity is that we can shift that, and resonance repatterning is a beautiful tool to be able to do that, because it actually shifts things at a cellular DNA type level, energetically, as well as you'll notice it on the physical. It's a non-linear process. So this mandala shows you that these are all the different points that we can touch on in a repatterning. And when I work with the group, I ask that one person be the voice of, so kind of the focal point of the group. And that's what Kaylin, that's the part she has agreed to play today. And so with her permission and your permission from signing up, registering, etc., I'm able to access the group's energy and consciousness. And through the receiving of your statements, bring all that together and able to really looking at it from the perspective of it's each individual and the group cohesive that drives the whole process. And whatever is for the best for us overall is going to be the thing that comes up as that point of focus that we use going forward. And it's selected because our systems know what we absolutely need in the moment to make that shift, to raise our vibrations, to release that block, to set that intention. So what I love about the process is I'm basically the tour guide and you all are driving the bus. So I just point out the things as we're going along of what to notice. And then at the end, we get to see the shift. I will be writing down statements as we go along. That's how we track, because we look at where our resonance lies to begin with. And it's always going to show us that we are on for our problems, because that's why they're in our lives, and off for intentions, because that's why we're still striving for them. And then we'll see the shift there at the end. If you as an individual think, well, that one specifically isn't really for me, don't be concerned about that, because you'll get whatever you need from it at whatever level. If you don't need it, you don't have to worry about it. And of course, it's our mind and our ego that's saying, oh, I know what I need or don't need, right? So that's the nice thing is, again, we're with the resonance repatterning, we're moving past that. We're looking at the whole system and working from there. I think that's the main things that I wanted to say. So you will notice that I'll be writing at times. I've got a whole set of books here that I reference. We've got a couple hundred different repatternings with different focus. And so again, the group energy is going to drive exactly where we go. And sometimes I'll be asking the questions, which we'll use these for the most part. And sometimes I'll be looking in a list and from the group's energy selecting a specific point. So anything more that you can think of, Kaylin, around the resonance repatterning?
I think you did a great job of explaining that. And I just want to say, I, for one, am deeply grateful we're doing this before this next Mercury retrograde, because it's so profound and such a powerful one that this could hardly be better timed.
Yay.
Yay.
All right. So Kaylin, do I have your permission to check for you and the group?
You sure do.
Okay. So the groups, and today is the 5:15. For the group's highest and best, we're going to start with orient. Oh, and I used muscle checking, not testing, to see where we go. So for the group's highest and best, we're going to start with orientation, problems, intentions. Nice. Well, not any way we go is going to be nice, just so you know. So I have the set of intentions. We're going to start with that. We are. All right. And so the question that I asked to help us figure out what intentions we wanted to set was, in what way are you ready to cultivate the art of being creative and spontaneous, tapping into your inner hidden wisdom? And we got all kinds of answers, and they're not numbered. So I'm actually going to just check, muscle check, see which ones we need. We need something here. We need this, this, this. We need this, 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 this. We need this, this, this. This, 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 this. All right. Interesting. So we had 3 come up as primaries, and we'll see where we go with that. So we're going to check each one separately. We are. So I'm going to start this statement. Say oh, this is for you, Kaylin. Say let me half a step back. If you choose to say it as well, that's absolutely fine. I'll just ask you to do it behind the mute button, which you all have your mute buttons going, so that we can have a clear recording. But you can say it, you cannot say it, you can say it in your mind, say it out loud. Either way, you're part of the energy, so it doesn't matter. It's just how much do you want to participate from an active perspective. All right, so the first statement, say, I cultivate value of self-worth.
I cultivate value of self-worth.
Okay, and that one is off. Say, I am more than ready.
I am more than ready.
That's off. I release procrastination.
I release procrastination.
Oh, we're on for that. This saying at a conscious level, it's like, oh yeah, we're good for that. We're going to check umbilically or unconsciously, and we're unconsciously off. So that means even though we might be working on that, maybe we're doing pretty good at it, it's still a struggle because there's some unconscious pattern that's getting in and kind of just negating the work that we're doing. So that's why it's so hard. So we want to move that unconscious thing out of the way as well.
I'll just add that I know that I'm really good on some things and not procrastinating, but at other things that if they increase my anxiety or different things, then I tend to procrastinate on them. So I'm going to be really happy to work on this.
All right, so those were the ones that came up as primary in the intentions. And that does not negate anything else that you might have sent. It's just pulling the key points up. So I'm going to check. We need to actually list more intention statements. We don't. So we're keeping it kind of simple. We need something more from this section. We do. We need something from B, from C, from D. We need something from, I'm going to have a sip of water. If you have water handy, please have a sip of water. So as you probably know, if you do any kind of energy work, water just actually helps with the movement of the energy and the firing of the synapses. So that's why every once in a while we just need a sip of water. All right, so we need something from this section. Yes, we need something from B, from C. So there's a daily empowerment intention that's going to support us in these intentions. And I have a list. All right. And there are 14 different areas. So for the group, it's something 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 6, 7. 7 has to do with nurturance and food. So of these 8, the one for us is 1 to 4, it's 5, it's 6. I'm going to write the statement down. All right, say, I am grateful for what I eat.
I am grateful for what I eat.
And that is off. So when we're talking about a daily empowerment intention, and yeah, for the most part, we do eat daily. I will say I do every day. But when we actually get on for this intention, and then if we can remember to start practicing it, it will actually empower your day. So I love when this kind of thing comes up, because what a simple thing, just a little bit of gratitude, even when you're getting ready to eat that candy bar. I mean, it's not talking about what you eat, right? It's talking about being grateful. And so be grateful in whatever way for whatever it is that you're taking in, and empower your day. So yay, get that out there. Something we can add, a little something simple, get us through Mercury retrograde and beyond. All right, we need something more here. We need something here. We need anything more from intentions. We do not. Okay, back to the mandala. So for the group's highest and best, we're doing orientation next. All right, the group needs to hear something from the summary. Nope. All right, we need orientation to self. We do. Okay, we need A, B, C, D. Trust and love is needed. Okay, and is it just others? It is. All right. Say, I have confidence in myself.
I have confidence in myself.
And I trust my inner knowing.
And I trust my inner knowing.
I love myself and others.
I love myself and others.
And I feel loved by others.
And I feel loved by others.
And that is off. And this one was part of it was about that inner knowing, that hidden inner wisdom. So kind of cool. Bring it right on in. This Mercury retrograde, I mean. We need something more in this section. We need something from E, F, G. Appreciation is needed. Okay, and this is about this. Okay. We're going to open this up to the group. We are. So I'm going to start with Kaylin, and then I'm going to open it to other people. And so if you want to answer, just raise your hand and I'll call on you and you can unmute and add your 2 cents to the, or 5, maybe 10 cents, I don't know, to the whole thing. All right. So the question is, what do you appreciate about yourself and any positive changes you've experienced recently? What do you appreciate about yourself? So it would start with, I appreciate myself for, all right, I'm ready, Kaylin.
I appreciate myself for growing in awareness of who I am and why I'm here.
That gave me chills. Beautiful. All right, anyone else? Oh, y'all are so quiet. What do you appreciate about yourself and any positive changes you've experienced recently? Anyone? I'm going to just check. We need, oh, Judy. Oh, unmute. There you go.
I appreciate my willingness to try and start new things.
All right.
Forget
Okay.
trying.
Anyone?
To just start new things, okay? I'm not trying, I'm doing it. Thank you.
There you go.
Okay, and we need to keep the try in there? We don't. Okay.
No.
Excellent. And remember that I'm going to check your systems because I'm going to go past what your ego's saying to what the system for the group needs. So thank you. All right. And you can go ahead and, unless you have another one, you can go ahead and mute again. All right. Anyone else? Is it Joya? All
Yes,
right.
it is. I appreciate my resilience and persistence in continuing forward despite surface appearances, focusing on trust in the divine.
Okay, I'm going to say I got about the first 4 words and then it went on long enough that I lost the rest. So we got to talk slow because I'm writing. So I've got
sorry.
Myself for my resilience and persistence.
And continuing on despite surface appearances, focusing on my trust in the divine.
Nicely spaced there. I got it.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you. We need a list anymore. We actually don't. Okay. So in this list, there is a primary. There is not. That's the other thing is if we might gather a bunch more statements and the system of the group might say we just need one of those, but we needed to hear them all. But in this case, it's all of them and we can all do them all together. We can. Do they need to start each one separately? No. Okay. And this order is fine. It is. All right, here we go, Kaylin. Say, I appreciate myself for growing in awareness.
I appreciate myself for growing in awareness
And who I am and why I'm here.
and who I am and why I'm here.
For my willingness to start new things.
For my willingness to start new things.
And for my resilience and persistence.
For my resilience and persistence.
In continuing on.
In continuing on.
Despite surface appearances.
Despite surface appearances.
Focusing on my trust in the divine.
Focusing on my trust in the divine.
Okay, I got chills just going all up and down. That's really nice.
So
I love when a group comes together because you absolutely know that the group came together specifically because we're meant to be together in this. And again, this is whether or not you're here in person or you join at a later time, because energy has no limitation of time and space. That's why I always leave the energy of the repatterning itself open to more people joining. So do feel free to share, share the invite to others in case they want to join in, especially in the next couple weeks before Mercury goes retrograde. All right, we need something more on this page. We do not. We need something more here. So we're going to also look at orientation to others. So we need something from A. It's about feeling welcomed. As you, everyone, others. All right. Say, I feel welcomed, loved, and accepted.
I feel welcomed, loved, and accepted.
My presence brings pleasure to others.
My presence brings pleasure to others.
I welcome others with pleasure.
I welcome others with pleasure.
And that is off. We need something from B, from C. So we're looking at a focus of consciousness. It's a chakra meridian. It's a 5-element focus of consciousness. Okay. So it is, of the 5 elements, wood, fire, earth, metal, or water, it is wood, fire, earth. It's metal. Okay. So with metal, we've got 15 different qualities, categories of qualities. And so the one that we're specifically going to focus on today is 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 6, 7. 7 is perfection. Recovering perfectionist here. So the coherent quality, and we have one
Of
to
course
choose
that showed
from.
up, Carrie, because it wasn't, our start wasn't perfect.
That's one. I'll tell you what, boy, that's a, if you were taught really, really well to be perfect, or, assume that you even could when you were young, that's something that you might work with for a long time. But I will say that I am leaps and bounds ahead of where I used to be as far as being recovering from that perfectionism. And I'm writing out our statements, our statement. All right. Say, I experienced the divine perfection in my life.
I experienced the divine perfection in my life.
And we're off for that. And if there's any perfection that we strive for, I think that's the one, right? That's why that is our focus of consciousness. So it's the focus of consciousness in this session. I see it as the focus of consciousness for this retrograde. And then if it really speaks to you, if it moves you, carry it forward with you, right? So I experienced the divine perfection in my life. It's a beautiful thought to kind of base everything on.
What a great mantra to use during the Mercury retrograde.
All right. So we need something. Oh, and the statements themselves aren't shared after the session. Of course, you'll have the recording. And part of that is because I find that from a participant perspective, it's really about trusting that you've taken in everything you need. You don't have to know the words. You don't have to remember the words. And you don't want to focus on those things that were the problem or non-coherent statements, because you want to let them flow away. So you don't want to reactivate them by re-saying them. So just know and trust that you're going to have what you need, and the recording will be available if you choose to listen to it again. It won't in any way negatively impact you if you listen to it again. All right, so that was a little confusing. Did I straighten it out? Okay. Joya says no.
Okay to listen to it again, but you're not, but maybe and the main thing that you're saying is the statements that we're going to release and transform are the ones that we don't want to really go back and say again. We just want to let them go.
Right. So if you do listen to it again, just know that if you hear the statements, you're not going to take them in again. Just don't repeat after me. If I say repeat after me. Yeah, Joya.
sorry, I want to make sure I'm crystal clear on this, because already I was thinking of taking these statements and turning them into affirmations for the next month or two.
For
So
the
how
intentions, you
about
absolutely
statements like I
can.
feel welcome, loved, and accepted, the positive ones? Are-
Anything positive, feel free to do whatever you want with them. Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Just the
We can't
non-coherence
say those
thing.
enough.
Exactly.
I don't think it's possible to say them too much.
Right, right. So that's why I do make the recording available. It's just whether or not, which points that you want to focus on. So intentions, the positive, absolutely. Have fun. Have fun with those. All right.
Terry, would you say the second statement in that one after I feel welcome, loved, and accepted? There were,
Actually, I'm going to say no, and it's not, I
okay,
don't want you to
fine.
feel bad about it. I don't want to repeat here, and I shouldn't have interrupted myself in that first place. From the perspective of at the end, if we need to pull some things out, I definitely will. And we'll have the recording, so it will be there and available for you. So, all right. The next thing we need something from D. We do orientation to time. We need something from A. We need something from B. It's about pacing ourselves. All right. See, I pace myself.
I pace myself,
Staying in rhythm with my own best timing.
staying in rhythm with my own best timing.
So I cope with challenges as positive opportunities
So I cope with challenges as positive opportunities
for extraordinary outcomes.
for extraordinary outcomes. Yes.
And off in the moment. All right. We need any other statements from orientation? We don't. We need an orientation modality before we go into the rest of the session. We do not. All right. All right. So for the group's highest and best, next we're going to look at problems. We are. Okay. So we've got a list of the problems we're facing that were specific to this repatterning. And the question that I asked is, what ordinary boundaries of duality, what rational logic is blocking you right now? And we have, again, a list. So we need something here, here, here. We need this, this, this. Need something here, need something here, something here, something here. Something. Well, that was interesting. One. All right. Say, I am blocked in healing and growth.
I am blocked in healing and growth.
We are on for that. Okay. Well, wow, that'll be a really, really good one to let release both on the physical, mental, and emotional levels, energetically, all the way around. Wow. Okay. Well, this group is very focused today. Very interesting. So let's just see if we need more around the problem section. We need something more around identifying. We need something for, we need seeing. We need anything more from problems. We do not. That's really, really interesting. All right. So we're going to go to a repatterning now. And like I said, I have about 200 different repatternings, different focus. So we'll see where the group takes us. So we need something from primary, from unconscious, from, it's one of the chakra repatternings. I have 4 different ones. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4. It's the life cycle repatterning. All right. Honestly, this is one of my favorite repatternings. Partly because it makes sense to me. All right, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about it first. Yes. All right. So there's five phases in every life cycle. new beginnings, intentions, ideas, and inspiration, action, creation, and completion. So the first phase of the life cycle, oh, and these are associated to the 5 chakras from, it's starting at the throat. So in the life cycle phase, it's the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the womb or pelvic chakra, and the root chakra. So the first phase of the life cycle is represented by the frequency of the ether or throat chakra. Ether represents the new beginning, the void or the formless state. Ether is the space of apparent chaos from which all things emerge and are created. Ether makes all things possible. It is also the frequency associated with having a sense of purpose. The void of ether leads you to the second phase of the life cycle, to the air or heart chakra, which provides the blueprint for action. This second phase of your life cycle provides you with the intention, idea, and inspiration necessary for every coherent action. Intention is an aim that determines actions and outcomes. If you want empowered outcomes which follow from coherent actions, it's essential, first of all, to know and resonate with coherent intentions, which we kind of just talked about. All right. The third phase of the life cycle is represented by the frequency of the fire or solar plexus chakra, which is associated with action. Fire gives you the drive, power, enthusiasm, ambition, will, and charisma to manifest your ideas and goals in action. The fourth phase of the life cycle is represented by the frequency of the water or pelvic chakra. The water aspect of the life cycle takes you into creative manifestation. In the water phase, all parts come together to form the whole. It is a womb space that allows for creation of the baby, the outcomes you want to manifest. And the fifth and final phase of the life cycle is represented by the frequency of the earth or coccyx chakra. The life cycle is complete when you manifest or experience the outcome of your intentions and actions, or when one phase of experience comes to an end. Completion always prepares the way for new beginning. Need anything more? Nope. All right. So those are the 5 phases. We need to actually identify any additional problems from the one that came up in our list. No. Okay. So we're going to identify the primary life cycle chakra being avoided. So we're looking at those 5 once again. So of the 5, it's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4. So it's the air or heart chakra, which is ideas and inspiration. We've got 8 statements. So for the group, the one we need is something 1 to 4, 5, 6. Writing it out. Say, I feel cut off
I feel cut off
from all possibilities for inspiration.
from all possibilities for inspiration.
And we are on for that. Okay, so that is the one that's being avoided, the air chakra, which is ideas and inspiration, which if you're feeling cut off, that's a pretty good reason, right? Okay. We're going to identify the primary life cycle chakra that's being prematurely activated as well. So again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This time it is completions. It's, or excuse me, no, 5. It's ether, throat chakra, new beginnings. I was going with my numbering system. So ether, new beginnings. That's one that's being prematurely activated. And the way it is, we've got 2 statements here. So the one for the group, it's 1, it's 2. All right, and please make sure you're breathing and not, I'm getting a bit of a headache and I feel like it's the group energy is kind of like, ugh. So breathe, have a sip of water. It's all good.
Shake your hands if you need to.
Yeah, you can shake it off a little bit
Right.
and know that it's just us processing the energy, and I'm not I'm not worried or uptight about the fact that I got to have a bit of the headache because I do tend, being Scorpio rising, I feel what's going on in the group. So sometimes that's just the way it comes out. All right, let me finish writing my statement. We need both of these. We need this. We need this. All right. So this is ether was the chakra being prematurely activated, and the statement. Say, I keep moving into new beginnings
I keep moving into new beginnings
as a way to avoid long-term commitment.
as a way to avoid long-term commitment.
We are on for that. I'm giggling because I'm thinking of a statement that I'd made to Kaylin before we got started about, and why didn't I take care of that from these 3 that we'd done before? And why didn't I learn that? It's like, okay, maybe I just started a new beginning instead. All right, we need something from E. We do. So we're going to look at the vertebrae involved with these 5 chakras. Which one is being either avoided or prematurely activated? Of the 5, it's 1, it's 2, it's 3. We're looking at fire, which is the lumbar vertebrae. And specifically, if I can get the pages to turn. So lumbar, so L1 through L5 for the group, it's L1, 2, 3, 4, L4. Excuse me. L4 is associated with sciatica, lumbago. I have trouble with that one word. Backaches and painful or frequent urination. How do you say it? Somebody know? That's all right. I'm going to call it lumbago for now. All right, we have some statements to select from, however. There's 4. So for the group, it's 1, it's 2, it's 3. Kind of a biggie. Say, I feel powerless.
I feel powerless.
That is on. Oh man, I felt that heavy in the heart. So we breathe, we have a sip of water, and we know we're going to shift it. Okay. We need something from F. No, from G. So we're going to identify what's going to allow us to move through each phase of the life cycle in a harmonious way and with right timing. It might be all 5 of the 5. It may be 1, maybe a couple. We're just going to go with whatever the group needs. So we're going to start with 1. So first is Earth. It's the coccyx chakra. I'm wondering if some of these problem statements can be answers to this. So the question is, what do you need to let go of? And I'm going to look at our problem statements. And then if I need to, I'll open it up to the group. So it's something here. It's this. It's something here. This. Yeah, it doesn't make sense though. All right, I let go of. Am I working too hard at this? I am. So I'm going to take a sip of water, ground myself a little bit. I'm going to check here. We need something here. I'm going to open it to the group. Okay.
I can start.
All right. What do you need to let go of?
Self-judgment, self-criticism, not good enough, and judgment, criticism of others.
Okay, hold on. Let me capture that. So I'm going to ask everybody to talk slow. Self-judgment, self-criticism.
Not good enough.
Not good enough. And judgment of others, right?
Judgment and criticism of others. Yeah. And self-doubt. Ooh, forgot that one.
Okay, hold on. I already had that list handy. All right, we need more. We do. If you want to raise your hand, I'll call on you. What? Add yours to the list. Drew?
Oop.
Oh.
Putting too much pressure on myself to get things done.
Okay, I'm gonna just check. Is it pressuring myself? Yes. Do we need to get things done? Yes. Okay. So a specific pressure in this case. Thank you. Anyone else? And if you are, if you don't have your video on and you have something to add, just unmute yourself and I'll call on you. So anyone else want to add something to what you need to let go of?
I need to let go of trying so hard.
Okay, thank you, Annie.
Hi, Terry. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good, because I'm lying down and I've got headphones in. Anyway, I think that I need to let go of the idea that all of my blockages and limitations are real because they are illusions.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, do we need that last bit? Okay, and I'm getting the push to tweak it just a teensy bit with adding a word. So don't be worried that it's a little different than what you said, because I
No
get that
worries.
energy too. Got it. Thank you. And that was a
Thank you.
Giannina.
It used to be Gina. I changed it.
Oh, Gina. Okay, I know exactly who we're talking to. Thank you, Gina.
Yeah. All right.
Anyone else? Catherine. Oh, wait. Hold on. I got to change my page. All right, now I'm ready for you.
I need to let go of hurt, disappointment, and resentment.
All right, gave me chills probably because there's some of my own work to do there. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Let me just check. We need to actually list something more. We do not. So in this list, there is a primary. There is not. We're going to do them all together. We are. All right. We're definitely moving some stuff. Okay. So, Kaylin, here we go. Say, I let go of self-judgment, self-criticism,
I let go of self-judgment, self-criticism,
self-doubt,
self-doubt,
the belief of not being good enough,
the belief of not being good enough,
judgment and criticism of others.
judgment and criticism of others.
I let go of pressuring myself to get things done.
I let go of pressuring myself to get things done.
I let go of trying so hard.
I let go of trying so hard.
I let go of the idea that all of my blockages and limitations are real,
I let go of the idea that all my blockages and limitations are real,
rather than understanding their illusions.
rather than understanding they are illusion.
I let go of hurt, disappointment, and resentment.
I let go of hurt, disappointment, and resentment.
And we are off for all that right now, but I look forward to us shifting those. Okay. All right. I hear like a tiny little musical background. I don't know what it is. Is that on
It's
your
not
side?
me. I'm sure it's not me. It might be Janice, because she's unmuted.
There,
Oh,
I
now
went ahead and muted just in case.
Okay.
It was very, very quiet. It was really sweet, a sweet
It was.
sound.
It was like divine, cosmic.
It was.
Hmm.
All right, so I'm going to open another question to the group. We'll start with Kaylin. Excuse me. So the question, what do you regret? What do you regret? Okay, I'll start. I regret being so rigid with myself. All right. While Kaylin's thinking about it, if you've got something, you can raise your hand. What do you regret? Drew.
I regret not enjoying, like, I guess the time that I had.
You need to know more about that? No? All right. Thanks, Drew. Anyone else?
I regret letting my fears run the show.
Okay. Thank you, Annie. Anyone else? What do you regret?
CJ has a hand raised.
Oh, I didn't see that little hand.
I regret the times that I've been unkind to others and to myself. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
That's a good one. They're all good ones.
They are.
Them all.
I regret impatience.
All right. Thank you, Catherine. Excuse me. There's something more out there. What do we regret? CJ, are you raising your hand again or it just hasn't gone down yet?
You have to put it down. I think.
Sorry.
I have to put it down?
I'll put it down, I think. Yeah, I lowered it.
Okay.
Sorry.
New-ish with the Zoom control part of things. Anyone else? There's something more out there. Joya, what do you regret?
I regret, I don't know how to say this, getting immersed or allowing myself to be immersed in grief for far too long.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else?
Me, Doriana here.
Oh, Doriana, go ahead.
I regret not connecting with more love and not asking more questions.
I just have to comment. I love the hair.
Yes.
All right, Judy. Thank you, Doriana. Judy.
I regret not speaking up for myself.
Great, thank you. I need to list something more. Kaylin, you have yours?
I got it. Okay, I regret the times I have reached conclusions without getting the whole story.
We need to list more. I actually have another one I'm going to add. Regretting that I've played it small for so long. All right, we need to list something more. Something more is out there.
Ooh, I regret missed opportunities.
Got it. Thank you, Drew. We need to list something more. We don't. Okay, we've got our list. All right. So in this list, there is a primary or primaries. No. So it's all of these things. Yes. Can one proxy for the rest? Nope. We're going to do them all. Yes. All together. Yes. Okay. I'm going to have another sip of water before we do this long list. Here we go. Okay. Kaylin. Say, I learned the lesson of my regret.
I've learned the lesson of my regret.
And then let go of regretting.
And then let go of regretting.
That I am so rigid with myself.
That I'm so rigid with myself.
That I didn't enjoy the time that I had.
That I didn't enjoy the time that I had.
That I let my fears run the show.
That I let my fears run the show.
That I've been unkind to others and myself.
That I've been unkind to others and myself.
That I am impatient.
That I am impatient.
That I allow myself to be immersed in grief for far too long.
That I allowed myself to be immersed in grief for far too long.
That I don't connect with more love.
That I don't connect with more love.
That I don't ask more questions.
That I don't ask more questions.
That I don't speak up for myself.
That I don't speak up for myself.
That I reach conclusions without getting the whole story.
That I've reached conclusions without getting the whole story.
That I've played it small for so long.
That I've played it small for so long.
That I've missed opportunities.
That I've missed opportunities.
And we're actually on for that conscious, again, we're thinking we learned the lesson, but umbilically off. So once more, it'll be nice to shift that unconscious thing that's getting in the way of us learning our lessons from these regrets and letting them go. All right, so we need something from C. Wow, this is a very group interactive one. Well, actually, let me check something. We're going to do it this way. Oh, all right. Nope, this one's not a question. This one, I have the answer. All right. So this is about appreciation. Say, I appreciate what I have achieved and learned.
I appreciate what I have achieved and learned.
And we are off for that. All right. So we're going to identify the coherent earth quality that's needed. And there are 13 here. So for the group, it's 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 6, 7. 7 has come up a lot today, interestingly enough. I can't even tell you what 7 means at the moment. I just know it's a powerful number. And that's okay. We don't have to know. All right. So there's 3 different options. We need them all 3. No, we need this. We need this. We need this. All right. Say, I appreciate what was positive.
I appreciate what was positive.
In my experiences and my relationships.
In my experiences and my relationships.
Again, we're on for that umbilically off. Quite a bit of umbilical coming on up here. So yay, get that unconscious stuff out of the way. All right. We need something from water. We do. Prepping my statement because I'm going to ask the question. Okay, we'll start with Kaylin again, and then we'll open it to the group. So the question is, what feelings do you need to access and express? Kaylin.
Anger, frustration, and there's something else which is not leaping to mind.
Somebody else may bring it forward. You
Hurt.
can always add it as well.
Yeah, hurt.
Hurt. Okay. We need to list more. We do. What else do we have out there? What other feelings do we need to access and express?
Impatience.
Got it.
Confidence and trust.
What else? Judy?
Disappointment.
Got it. Something more. What else? I'm hearing rage. So we'll add that to the list. I think personally, I'm just quick little side note. Personally, I'm afraid to even go there. So I can see why that's come up. Makes me uncomfortable even thinking about it. So anything else like that for you all? Feeling you need to access and express, especially if there's something you're thinking, oh no, not going there. Something we can add. Something more out there. How
Shame.
about shame? Did I hear?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to add one more. How about love? We need to list something more. We do not. Okay. So, and just pointing out that it's not necessarily only the non-coherence, though oftentimes that's the one we bury, but I think that it's okay to say this. Yeah. So I think that oftentimes because we're so busily burying some of the uncomfortable non-coherence, that we've suppressed ourselves enough that we're not fully feeling the good stuff either. So something to keep in mind. That's why we do want to access and express in a coherent and, I'll say healthy way, but still need to access them. So for the group, we need all of these. Yay. Okay, let's do it. Say I access and express anger, frustration, hurt.
I access and express anger, frustration, and hurt.
Impatience, disappointment, rage.
Impatience, disappointment, and rage.
Shame,
Shame.
confidence, trust, and love.
Confidence, trust, and love.
Oh, wow, we're on for it. We want to. We're working at it, baby. Umbilically off. Okay. Oh, and then we've got a little gimme statement for water. So I'm going to write that down. It's expressing the water in the life cycle. All right. Say I move into my creative process.
I move into my creative process.
With 100% focus and enjoyment.
With 100% focus and enjoyment.
And we're off, even though it sounded really good with the way Caitlin said it. All right. We're going to identify the water quality needed, the coherent. There's 12 here. For the group, it's 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 6, 7, 8, 9. Say, I nurture myself.
I nurture myself.
That is off. All right. So that was water. We need something from fire. No. Okay. Need something from air. No. And since y'all moved and breathed, my head's releasing a little bit too. So, all right. We need something from ether. We do. So throat chakra. New beginnings. I need another page as well. Okay, I think. All right. Whew, this one's a doozy. I want to check. Is it something I can actually pull off the statements? Yes. Okay, so let's try that first. So it's something from this page. Yes. So from here, this. Okay. We need both these, yeah. There's something more we need to add. There is it something on the list? No, okay, so I'm going to open up the question to the group. I'm laughing because of what the question is. I'm going to ask you to try to be as succinct as possible. And I'll tell you what my first statement I got from the list was. So the question is, what is your spiritual purpose? The one answer I got from the list is, I value creative spontaneity and divine wisdom. So pulling directly from this particular Mercury retrograde. So what is your spiritual purpose? And Kaylin, I'll start with you. If you have something you want to share.
Of course, to be a superconductor of love.
I'll add one. I live fully and out loud. What else? We need more? We do. Spiritual purpose.
I enjoy and flow with life.
Okay. Got it. Anyone else? I'm going to add, I help create a world that fully supports women. It's kind of the business, kind of a business thing going on there. Anyone else?
To see the divine in every person, place, condition, and thing.
Hold on. Person, place, condition, and thing.
And thing. Yeah.
And got it. Okay. Joya. Whoops, you're muted.
Sorry about that.
That's
I
all right.
empower others to tap into their personal and spiritual sovereignty. Or you could substitute the word others with women.
Others works beautifully. System says yes. Sovereignty. And even though I said women, I would support all people. It's just my focus right now is women. All right. We need to list something more. We actually don't, unless you got something burning on the tip of your tongue.
Magic and miracle.
Okay. So look at how the statement reads to add for that one. I create, I live, I embody. Create, live, embody. I embody. I like that one. Magic and miracles. Okay, that one felt heavy, but in a good way. All right. So this has to do with our spiritual purpose. So from the group, this is there is in this list, there's a primary or primaries. No, it is all these things. Yes. And that might feel big, and that's okay, because again, you'll pull what you need from it. Your system already knows it'll connect. Maybe it's all of these things, maybe it's one thing, and maybe there's something kind of buried in here that'll come out from it too. So since it is all, it's going to be all together, it is. All right, Kaylin. See, I value creativity, excuse me. I value creative spontaneity and divine wisdom.
I value creative spontaneity and divine wisdom.
I am a superconductor of life.
I am a superconductor of love.
Of love.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Is it life too? Could you say life and love?
Sure. Well, love is a specific vibrational energy, so it infuses all of life.
All right. Do we still need life and love? We do. So let's say I am a superconductor of love.
I'm a superconductor of love
And life.
and life.
I live fully and out loud.
I live fully and out loud.
I enjoy and flow with life.
I enjoy and flow with life.
I help create a world that fully supports women.
I help create a world that fully supports women.
I see the divine in every person,
I see the divine in every person,
place, condition, and thing.
place, condition, and thing.
I empower others to tap into
I can empower others to tap into
their personal and spiritual sovereignty.
their personal and spiritual sovereignty.
I embody magic and miracles.
I embody magic and miracles. Woohoo!
Okay, we are off the woohoo. What some amazing energy we are bringing into this session. Wow. Okay. All right, and then we have another gimme that has to do with the throat chakra in the life cycle. Writing it out. It is a little longer, so give me just a moment. All right. Here we go. See, I take the time to be in the stillness
I take the time to be in the stillness
and the creative void.
and the creative void.
So I move into new beginnings
So I move into new beginnings
that are aligned with my spiritual purpose.
that are aligned with my spiritual purpose.
And we're off for that, but we've got a lot of that spiritual purpose hanging out there. So we'll get those shifted around. And then the coherent ether quality needed, there are 9 of them. So for the group, it's 1 to 5, 6, 7, 8. There's several options. We need them all. No, we need this, 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 this. Okay, just the one. Say, I allow myself to stay present in the stillness.
I allow myself to stay present in the stillness.
We are off for that. Okay. All right. So that took us to the end of that repatterning. There's something more that we need as far as statements. There is. Okay. So it's from another repatterning. It is something from primary, from conscious. It's one of the chakra repatternings. Okay. It's from the chakra repatterning. Let's see where we go then. Interesting. Okay. So we need to hear something about the chakra repatterning. We don't. We need to identify any other problems that other than the one we did list. Nope. Okay. So we're going to identify the primary. Oh, well, let me just remind you of what the problem statement was. I am blocked in healing and growing, or healing and growth, I think I said actually. I'm blocked in healing and growth. So the primary chakra involved with that problem of the 7, now we're looking at all 7. It's 1 to 4, it's 5 and 6. It's the brow chakra. Okay. Brow chakra. I can't get the brow chakra. Here we go. It's coming. There we go. So the non-coherent specific to this, there's 10 here for the group. It's 1 to 5. It's 6, 7, 8. We need both options. No, we need this. We need this. All right. So for the brow chakra, the non-coherence, say I'm unable to maintain centered awareness.
I am unable to maintain centered awareness.
We are on for that. We need something from E. So there's a non-coherent emotional response associated to the brow chakra. And there's a couple of options. We need them both. We need the first, we need the second. Say, I am scattered.
I am scattered.
That is on. I'm just looking at my life right now. So, oh, well, yeah, I'd be living that a little bit. All right, we need something from F. So there's a chakra shock. And it could be different than the one we've identified of the brow. So of the 7, it's 1 to 4, it's 5 and 6. Nope, it's still brow. All right. Okay, there's 3 options. It's the first. Say shock from seeing something
Shock from seeing something
that is violent or shocking.
that is violent or shocking.
We are on for that shock. Whew, we need something from G. We do not. We need something from H. We're going to look at the physical resonance involved. Again, it could be different from the brow. So of the 7, it's 1 to 4. It's 1, it's 2. This one's water, pelvic chakra. There's 18 here. So for the group, it's something 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 6, 7. This is the physical manifestation. And for specific to the water chakra, say dry skin.
Dry skin.
We are on for that. If it's not something you are experiencing personally or have experienced personally, when we're talking about physical, it could be actually a generational pattern as well. All right. And I'm just going to check. We need the subchakra of water. We do not. Okay. We're looking at the vertebrae again. Okay. So for the vertebrae, it's 1 to 5. It's 1, 2, 3. So we are looking at lumbar again. Is it the same one? It's not. So L1 through 5, it's L1, L2. L2 is associated with nerve supply, the sexual organs, bladder, and knees. Oh, you needed to hear that for some reason because that's not L2. That was L3. L2 is associated with the appendix, cramps, and varicose veins. There's 2 different statements for us. We need 1, we need 2. Say there is no way out.
There is no way out.
Heavy statement, and we are on for it. Okay. And just because I have it here, let's see, we were L2 and I think it was L4. L2 and L4, if this is the, not if this is the spine And so L2 and L4 is kind of here lower back. So if you've been feeling something in that area, it's associated to what we're working with today. Okay. We need something from J. We need something from K. So we're going to identify the chakra distortions we're dealing with right now. Okay, so, and this would be specific to the brow chakra. We need something from A, B, C. All right, say my brow chakra is underactive.
My brow chakra is underactive.
We are on for that. Okay, we need something more from that. No, okay. So now we're going to identify the coherent chakra quality that we need in relation to the problem. And there are the 7 chakras. So we need something 1 to 4, 5, 6. We are back to brow. We really focused on the brow in this one. Sometimes we hit multiple, but not so much today. So the coherence needed, there's 10 here for the group. It's 1 to 5, 6, 7, 8. Say, I see beyond good, bad, and all judgments.
I see beyond good, bad, and all judgments.
We're actually on for that umbilically off. Okay. All right, that took us to the end of that repatterning. So let's see. There's something more we need as far as statements. No. All right. What an interesting set of statements. Okay. So we've got our statements. We kind of know where we stand in the moment, which means we're on for the negative and not quite on for the positive yet. So the next thing we do is we look at what modality, what spiral option out of 127 plus we need to help anchor our shift of resonance, this higher vibration. Okay, so for the group, we need something from process, from sound, from color light, from movement, it's a breath. Okay, we have 27 different breaths. So the one for the group today is something 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 11, 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 11 to 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 is the lymphatic purifying breath. Okay. Who doesn't need a little purification, especially of the lymph system? All right. First, I'm going to tell you a little about it, then I'm going to show you, and then we're going to do it. And there's a lot here, so I'll see if we need to share all of this. No. So I'll check to see what we need to hear today. So most of us aren't aware of our lymphatic system, and yet without it, we can't survive. Our lymph system removes dead cells and other toxic wastes from around our cells and sends them to the large intestines for elimination and to the liver, our body's primary detoxification plant. We need something more. Oh, that was all we needed. Okay. Sometimes we like lots, sometimes we like a little bit. All right, so with this one, I'm going to sit back a little bit and I'm going to change the angle a little bit so that you can maybe see what's going on. All right, so with this one, what we're going to do, I'm going to explain it first, show you, and then we'll do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in through the nose, letting the belly swell, hold the breath, then we're going to push, and I'm going to stop there. Don't hold your breath because I'm going to explain some more. So holding the breath, we're going to expand the chest, pulling the air up from the lower lungs to the upper lungs, and then we're going to push it down by letting the belly swell out, and then we're going to push it up. So we basically breathe in, try to sit tall, wearing dark clothes didn't help with this. And then we do up and down, up and down, up and down. And that's all holding the breath, and you're using your diaphragm to do that, right? So when you push tummy in, it pushes the chest out. When you let the tummy release, it pulls the air back down. So we're going to do that actually 3 times, ending with the up. So we breathe in, up, down, up, down, up. This is all holding the breath. And then to exhale, we're going to go shh, 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 shh. I don't know if you can see it. My tummy's going in and out. Using your tummy. So you go shh, 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 shh for the exhale by pushing the tummy in. So it's pushing the air out. And we're going to do that a few times. I'll muscle check to see when we're done, but I'm going to talk you through it while we're doing it as well. So don't be concerned. If you don't do it exactly right the first time or two, you'll catch on. No worries. All right. I'm going to button my little, so that maybe you can follow the breath. You don't know that you're going to be showing off your tummy in these things. All right. So yeah, you can see a little better. All right. So we're going to breathe in through the nose, letting the belly swell out, holding the breath. We're going to push the air up, down, up, down, up. And then we're going to go shh, shh, shh to release the breath. Okay. So here we go. In, swelling the belly, hold it, push the air up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now out. Shh, 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 shh. Breathe in, swelling the belly, up, down, up, down, up. Then out. Shh, 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 shh. Again, in, up, down, up, down, up, down, then up, and then out. Shh, 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 shh. You need to do it again. In, hold, up, down, up, down, up, and then squeeze. Shh, 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 shh. Again, return to a normal breath. Just close your eyes, take a moment, notice what you're feeling, what you did feel, thoughts that might have come up, images, ideas, words. And if nothing, that is totally okay. All right. So that was the lymphatic breath. All right. Anybody notice anything from doing that particular breath? And no is an okay answer. Okay. Know and trust that you got exactly what you needed from it. I kind of love that breath, actually. The fact that we're working the lymphatic and releasing toxins is a huge deal, especially when you're doing energetic work, let alone, just releasing regular toxins of life, whether it's stresses or the foods you've eaten or the environment you've been in. But when we're doing energetic work, as you all probably know, especially if we're releasing non-coherence, that's toxins, even if it's energetic toxins. So having a way to just breathe it out is a wonderful thing. So keep this in mind. This is a fairly easy one. And it'll be in the recording, so you can go back and you can practice it again. And yeah, it's a great one. So let me just check. We need another modality. We do not. I just love that we can breathe and improve our energy. And 27 is probably a small number of what's actually out there as far as the different breaths available, but 27 is a pretty good number to deal with. All right. So it's at this point, I'm going to have a sip of water. Still noticing a little bit in my throat. We are going to check our shift of resonance now. We're going to actually start with the intentions we are. So starting at the beginning. And we had 3 from our list. All right, so here we go, Kaylin. Say, I cultivate my value of self-worth.
I cultivate my value of self-worth.
That is on. Say, I'm more than ready.
I am more than ready.
That is on. This one is umbilical. Say, I release procrastination.
I release procrastination.
We are on all levels for that. Yay. All right. And then our daily empowerment statement. Say, I am grateful for what I eat.
I am grateful for what I eat.
Yay. And we went into orientation there. Say, I have confidence in myself.
I have confidence in myself.
I trust my inner knowing.
I trust my inner knowing.
I love myself and others.
I love myself and others.
And I feel loved.
And I feel loved.
Nice, that's on. Then we went into appreciation. Say, I appreciate myself
I appreciate myself
for growing in awareness in who I am and why I'm here.
for growing in awareness of who I am and why I'm here.
For my willingness to start new things.
For my willingness to start new things.
For my resilience and persistence in continuing on.
For my willingness and resilience in continuing on.
For my resilience and persistence in continuing on.
For my resilience and persistence in continuing
on. Despite surface appearances.
Despite surface appearances.
And focusing on my, focusing on my trust in the divine.
And focusing on my trust in the divine.
We are on for all that appreciation of self. Say, I feel welcomed, loved, and accepted.
I feel welcomed, loved, and accepted.
My presence brings pleasure to others.
My presence brings pleasure to others.
I welcome others with pleasure.
And I welcome others with pleasure.
That is on. I'm getting a kick out of here. All right. And Catherine, I think this is the one you wanted to capture. So just putting it out there. We then looked at perfection and the coherence we wanted for that. Say, I experience the divine perfection in my life.
I just experience the divine perfection in my life.
Yay. We are on. Say, I pace myself.
I pace myself.
Staying in rhythm with my own best timing.
Staying in rhythm with my own best timing.
So I cope with challenges as positive opportunities.
So I cope with challenges as positive opportunities.
For extraordinary outcomes.
For extraordinary outcomes.
That is on. I got a little chill out of that one. Yay. All right. And then our one focused problem statement to the whole rest of the repatterning. I am blocked in healing and growth.
I am blocked in healing and growth.
Cleared. Yay. All right. Then we moved into the life cycle repatterning, and the air chakra, heart chakra, ideas and inspiration was what was being avoided. The statement, say, I feel cut off from all possibilities for inspiration.
I feel cut off from all possibilities for inspiration.
Cleared. And then it was the ether chakra that was being prematurely activated. That was new beginnings. Say, I keep moving into new beginnings.
I keep moving into new beginnings.
As a way to avoid long-term commitment.
As a way to avoid long-term commitment.
Cleared. All right. And then it was lumbar 4 of the fire chakra that is part of that's associated to the problem. Say, I feel powerless.
I feel powerless.
Cleared. And I just personally made the connection of that problem statement with with that statement, with the problem statement of blocked in healing and growth. If you're feeling powerless, well, crap, no wonder, right? So releasing both of those together should be immensely powerful for us when it comes to that healing and growth. Okay, then we moved to the actual life cycle, and Earth was the one we began with. Earth is about completions. It's the root chakra. And the first thing we looked at was what we wanted to let go of. All right, so, and it's all these together. So here we go, Kaylin. Say, I let go of self-judgment, self-criticism, and self-doubt,
I let go of self-judgment, self-criticism, and self-doubt,
and the belief that I'm not good enough,
and a belief that I'm not good enough,
and judgment and criticism of others.
and judgment and criticism of others.
I let go of pressuring myself to get things done,
I let go of pressuring myself to get things done,
of trying so hard.
of trying so hard.
I let go of the idea that all of my blockages and limitations are real,
I let go of the idea that all my blockages and limitations are real,
rather than understanding they are illusions.
rather than understanding they are illusions.
I let go of hurt, disappointment, and resentment.
I let go of hurt, disappointment, and resentment.
We are on for letting go of all of that regret. Yay. All right. Then this one's umbilical, and it's got several things. We're going to look at where we go with that. So say I learned the lesson of my regret,
I've learned the lesson of my regret,
and then let go of regretting
and then let go of regretting
that I'm so rigid with myself,
that I'm so rigid with myself,
that I didn't enjoy the time I had,
that I didn't enjoy the time I had,
that I let go, that I let my fears run the show,
that I let my fears run the show,
that I've been unkind to others and myself,
that I've been unkind to others and myself,
that I am impatient,
that I am impatient,
that I allow myself to be immersed in grief for far too long,
that I allow myself to be immersed in grief for far too long,
that I don't connect with more love,
that I don't connect with more love,
that I don't ask more questions,
that I don't ask more questions,
that I don't speak up for myself,
that I don't speak up for myself,
that I reach conclusions without getting the whole story,
that I reach conclusions without getting the whole story,
that I've played it small for so long,
that I've played it small for so long,
that I've missed opportunities.
that I've missed opportunities.
We are now on for learning that lesson of regret and letting those regrets go. Yay.
Woohoo!
I know. And then we moved into, I like the happy dance. And then we move into appreciation, again, part of our earth. Say, I appreciate what I've achieved and learned.
I appreciate what I've achieved and learned.
You're on for that. Umbilical. I appreciate what was positive in my experiences and my relationships.
I appreciate what was positive in my experiences and my relationships.
Umbilically on, yay. So at the unconscious level too. Then we looked at water. And these were the feelings. Say, I access and express anger, frustration, hurt.
I access and express anger, frustration, and hurt.
Impatience, disappointment,
Impatience, disappointment,
rage and shame,
rage and shame,
confidence, trust, and love.
confidence, trust, and love.
We are now umbilically on, yay. Say, I move into my creative process
I move into my creative process
with 100% focus and enjoyment.
with 100% focus and enjoyment.
Yay. I nurture myself.
I nurture myself.
Yay. All right. I find that interesting that nurturing myself is part of the water or the womb, because we nurtures those, babies that we might carry within, let alone, the role that so many women play of nurturing everyone around us, but that it's water, because I would have thought earth, which there's other aspects of nurturing that goes on with earth. So just anyway, little thoughts that are popping that are to be shared. And then we looked at ether as our last piece of the life cycle that we addressed. Say, I value create. Oh, and this was our purpose. So these were all the statements for our purpose. Say, I value creative spontaneity and divine wisdom.
I value creative spontaneity and divine wisdom.
I am a superconductor of love
I am a superconductor of love
and life.
and life.
I live fully and out loud.
I live fully and out loud.
I enjoy and flow with life.
I enjoy and flow with life.
I help create a world that fully supports women.
I help create a world that fully supports women.
I see the divine in every person, place, condition, and thing.
I see the divine in every person, place, condition, and thing.
I empower others to tap into
I empower others to tap into
their personal and spiritual sovereignty.
their personal and spiritual sovereignty.
I embody magic and miracles.
I embody magic and miracles.
And what a way to end our statements as far as our purpose. Yay. All right. So it's still in ether. Say, I take the time to be in the stillness
I take the time to be in the stillness
and the creative void.
and the creative void.
So I move into new beginnings
So I move into new beginnings
that are aligned with my spiritual purpose.
that are aligned with my spiritual purpose.
Yay. Okay. I need it. I'm getting that I need to say that all together so that you can hear it as a statement. I take the time to be in the stillness and the creative void. So I move into new beginnings that are aligned with my spiritual purpose. Okay. And then our final ether statement, say, I allow myself to stay present in the stillness.
I allow myself to stay present in the stillness.
And that is on, yay. Then we move to our chakra repatterning, and it was the brow chakra that came up as the main chakra associated with our problem with the healing and growth, that blockage. So the statement, non-coherent, say, I am unable to maintain centered awareness.
I'm unable to maintain centered awareness.
Oh, we're still on for that. We're going to come back to it. For whatever reason, it's not quite ready to shift. Brow chakra still. Say, I am scattered.
I'm scattered.
Cleared. Brow chakra. Say, shock from seeing something
A shock from seeing something
that is violent or shocking.
that is violent or shocking.
Cleared. Going back to that statement. Say, I'm unable to maintain centered awareness.
I'm unable to maintain centered awareness.
Cleared. Sometimes the system is very specific about what order things need to safely shift in. So we just honor that. All right. Now we're looking at the physical aspect associated to water, the water chakra. Say, dry skin.
Dry skin.
Cleared. And then we look at L2, which is fire chakra, lumbar 2. There is no way out.
There's no way out.
Cleared. And this was the non-coherence going on with our chakra. Say, my brow chakra is underactive.
My brow chakra is underactive.
Cleared. And still brow chakra. This is the thing that's bringing it all around to balance. This umbilical. Say, I see beyond good, bad, and all judgments.
I see beyond good, bad, and all judgments.
Yay, umbilically on. All right, so checking. There's something more that we need for this session. No, this session is complete. All right, so let's just take a moment, take it in, take a breath, take it in.
So just something I want to say, because that last statement about being present in the stillness, when any planet goes retrograde or direct, doesn't matter. It's like the pendulum swings, stops, and then swings back. You know, so the planet is like going across certain stars, it stops and then it goes back, and then it stops and then it goes forward again. So it's the still point. So I just love that that was brought into this, because it is learning how to be present in the still point, because the still point is where all possibilities exist. And we can access them when we can stay present in that stillness.
That creative void.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
It gave me chills, gave me chills. All right, so let me make sure I step back into my body a little bit and say whatever else I need to say for completion. So I do want to thank you all very much for participating. For those of you that were able to send statements, whether we use them or not, it still infused the session. So know that the energy was there. I appreciate very much those that were able to actually attend in person. I'm not sure exactly what it said just there. And I appreciate anyone that chooses to listen to the session later, that it gets involved later. And again, feel free to share that registration link, because if they register, then anyone that registers will get a copy of the recording. So we just ask that you register to get your energy, to be included in the energy of the session. One of the things that I do make available to this group specifically is a discounted rate if you choose to do an individual resonance repatterning session with me. It's normally $120. You get it for $80, so a pretty deep discount. If you have questions, you can reach out. Well, I'm going to open it up to questions here in a second anyway, but you can reach out through the Facebook event. I'll monitor that for a little while. And I guess I'll just finish by saying once again, so I'm Terry Bybee, and I'm so grateful for y'all to be here. And we will continue offering these Mercury retrograde repatternings as a gift to the community. So I know I'll see you again, but before we completely, do we have any questions or comments?
Yes, I've been in a storm here and my power and internet went down and the repairman just pulled into the driveway. So I want to say thank you so very much. And I really must go and answer the door.
You
So
go for it. Thank you for participating.
I don't know how to turn this off. Where do I go to return it off?
There should be an in button that's red on the bottom right-hand corner. And if not, don't worry. When I end it for everyone, it'll
End it for you.
take care of it as well. So no worries.
Good to see you, Janice.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Questions or comments? All right. Well, and it was fun having so many people actually participate as well, because the group energy, oftentimes it's just all from the statements that were submitted. So that was kind of fun. Carol, were you going to say something?
Yes, I was just going to say thank you so much. This is the first time I've done this, and I definitely felt some energy changes. So thank you so much.
Oh, actually, great segue. Thank you, Carol. So I do want to say, what can you expect, right? So be the witness. Number one, be the witness. Pay attention. It may be small, minor, little pieces of magic. It could be that you just walk away feeling a little more comfortable, a little more serene. It could be big, huge magical changes. 3 ways you can watch for it. Personal coherence. You just feel better. You feel better within yourself. You feel more confident. You feel more steady. Awareness coherence. You notice, yeah, life is still happening. You might even have some problems still, but you notice that you handled them differently because you are more aware of the possibilities that come with the problems. And then relationship coherence could shift. The way you relate to others and or others relate to you could change. And even better when it comes to that is support that's needed shows up, whether it's expected or unexpected. So relationship coherence. So just watch for the magic to happen, because we are embodying magic and miracles. We set that in our intentions, and celebrate the little things as well as the big things. So thank you so much for participating, and y'all have a wonderful Mercury retrograde.
And I will also just say one other thing that might be helpful in noticing, because I've been doing some time traveling in my old journals and things I wrote. So if you're thinking about like, what did I get out of this? And then you write about it, just stream of consciousness comes through and you write about it, you might be surprised, because sometimes, because we're in our day-to-day stuff, whatever, we're not in that more magical space. I'm impressed with things I wrote when I was 30. I was like, I was kind of wise back then. So I highly recommend
Wonderful.
it. And specifically around a process like this is really good. So
Great piece of advice. And thank you for the heart and the loves that were sent out. Thank you. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. What a powerful way to start it. And I think we're ready for that Mercury retrograde. Let's go out there. Let's go live life. Bye.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.